This is the 6,000th episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. Today, Stephanie is forming a lung cancer support group. The stories of hope you are about to hear are from real people who are battling lung cancer.
Hello. This is my friend Nick Maroney.
How do you do?
Kathryn Joosten.
Nice to meet you.
Kathryn, you know, is a very famous actor.
Yes, I see that.
If he hasn't watched your show, he will from now on.
Oh,
Please sit down.
Thank you.
All right.
It's so nice of you to come by and see us.
Well, I was intrigued. You know, you said that kind of wanted to get together and get some kind of a support
Well,
group.
I was thinking, because this whole thing took me completely by surprise.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I
How
was
did you
feeling.
discover it?
Well, I was feeling perfectly fine. Then all of a sudden, I was sort of just exhausted, and started coughing. And I kept putting it off and putting it off. And finally, I went in, and they said to me, "You've got lung cancer." And of course, it just knocked the wind right out of me.
Are you in therapy? Quite frankly, depression is a significant part of cancer. And if you develop a support group, you got to understand that somewhere along the line, members of the group are going to die.
Oh yes, of course.
So it's something that we have to all be open and talk about, because that's just part of the reality of it.
Yes, but then we can be there to help them. In a way.
Exactly. We can be there to help each other through it.
I'm so glad that you don't smoke.
Well, sadly, there's a lot of people with lung cancer who've never smoked a cigarette in their life.
I know. I'm so worried about Mickey. I mean, a spot on his lung, and he doesn't even seem to care.
No, Jackie, he does care. He just doesn't want you to see that he does.
It's amazing the number of people that come down with lung cancer that never smoked.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's the number one killer right now among women. More women get breast cancer, but they get cured.
Right. Now, what point are you at as far as
The cancer, apparently at this point, I am quote unquote cured.
Okay.
I had my 1 year PET scan, and I have no cancer cells in my body at this point. So I'm probably better off than most of the people in any room, because I know.
You know exactly where you stand. Sure.
But I'll continue every 3 months with the test. And, you know, that's the hard part, Stephanie. Every 3 months, you come up to, are they going to tell me I have it again? Or for those people who do have it, are they going to tell me it got worse? Are they going to tell me it got better? So the stress and the fears of having to go through that every 3 months.
That's why you find the therapy so helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because otherwise it rips you apart.
Yeah.
You have absolutely no control over your future. You have no control over when or how you might be struck down.
I think about how much I'd miss my family.
Yeah, I've been through that
If that's
one.
possible.
I remember very early on the second cancer, I had a dream in which I said to the therapist, "Will you help me die?" And he said, "Of course I will." And so it was really a time when I faced, this is going to happen. I mean, at the time I thought. Since it was a stage 3, I thought, oh, that's it, I'm wiped out, I'm finished. And I was looking at the idea that I was going to die.
I'm prepared for life. I hope I finally will prepare myself for death in a positive way. Yes.
Well, I think it's great, and we can get the word out.
Good. I really appreciate it.
I am delighted, and I'm
made
delighted.
me really think about a lot of things. And you're right about the therapist.
Yeah, follow up on it, huh?
I will.
Okay, you'll be in touch.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Please, darling, try to understand. No matter what I say, no matter how much I try to persuade him, my son just won't listen to me. And, oh, God, here I am just going on and on and on about Nicky's cigars, and it's just...
No, Jackie, you tried. You tried.
God, I know I'm just pushing him away.
And that's the last thing that you want. I know.
Well, certainly being the doting mother isn't working, is it? It's getting me nowhere.
Listen to me. Nick is not going to quit smoking until he makes the decision on his own.
I know. And my nagging, what's that doing? It's just creating this huge distance between us, and I just... Oh, I can't hold my tongue. I just can't, knowing that any one of those damn cigars that he's smoking could be the one that kills him.
Doctor, why don't you sit here?
Sure.
Nick is not a cancer survivor. They found a spot on his lung, and he's a cigar smoker. I've been trying to get him to quit.
Working on the gum, the patch, all that's working right now.
That's an important start.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've survived cancer yourself.
Yes, I'm a 4-year survivor.
Wow.
So my story began 4 years ago. I'm an emergency physician. Every day of my life, I see lives turned upside down. But I wasn't used to it in my life. No. So what happened one day, I was swallowing some liquid, and I noticed a funny sensation in my chest, something that I never had experienced before. But as a physician, I knew that something was not right.
Just from the tingling? Just from taking a drink?
Yeah, it was only with cold liquids. It was really quite strange.
So being a doctor, that's why you were suspicious?
Yes. And I got a chest x-ray. And then the chest x-ray had a little spot on the lung that they said, well, maybe we should watch it. And I said, well, maybe we should get a CAT scan. And we got a CAT scan, and that confirmed that I had advanced lung cancer. So we have a family meeting with the boys and my wife, and the hardest thing we ever had to do was to tell them that their 49-year-old father had lung cancer. And it was just tragic. But we told them that whatever we could do to maintain normalcy in their lives, we would do. But we have to take this day by day and not project ahead to what the future may be, because no one knows that.
Hey, Doc, were you a smoker?
I never smoked, but 15% of lung cancer patients never smoked.
Is there any way to diagnose if secondhand smoke actually, how would you diagnose that might have caused the lung cancer?
Secondhand smoking is presumed to be a potential for the development of lung cancer, but it's not definitive.
I ask because I have a young son, and I frame my smoking as occasional smoking, like maybe a cigar a day possibly, and I do not smoke around him or try not to. So I think Stephanie's asked me to join here to maybe a little wake-up call. I just struggling with quitting, and I realize...
I will tell you that any exposure is bad, because the smoke exposure causes inflammation in your lungs. Mm-hmm. Why would you want to expose, someone to smoke that you knew that could potentially hurt them, harm them, or kill them?
So Nick is still not in the office?
Apparently not. Stephanie must have lassoed him to keep him at that support meeting of hers.
How come she can make him listen and I can't?
It's because he doesn't hear you when you talk about important things. Fashion, maybe, but life and death, no way.
That's not true. Is it?
The two of you have got an inverted parent-child relationship. You haven't noticed? Well, he's dad, and you are the rebellious teenage girl.
I'm just rebelling against him getting cancer.
Besides, he's with Stephanie, and they're two of a kind. She's going to use strong-arm tactics that you never would.
I don't want to strong-arm him. I don't want to nag him. I just want to support him.
If I were Nick, and in his shoes, I would probably be defensive as well.
Why?
Because when somebody talks to another person about their smoking, regardless of how good their intentions may be, what they're really saying is you're bad. You're bad. What you're doing is bad, and it's going to give you cancer, and it serves you right because you are bad.
Nick, it's not bad. It's the addictive nicotine that is bad. Help me get through to him.
When I found out I had cancer, I felt like I was one of the lucky ones because it was caught so early. And when it was caught, I was able to have surgery. And because I was a surgical solution, it made it much easier. They could take out the tumor, and then in case they didn't want it to come back, so they gave me chemotherapy.
That was the toughest.
Is the toughest by
I know.
far. The first question people ask you when you have lung cancer is, did you smoke? And I would always say, no. Of course, I didn't smoke, not one.
That's the real shocker.
One of the things that probably gets you through, at least it does me, is having a sense of humor about it.
Without any
It's
question.
gallows humor lots of times.
Yes,
but
you're right.
But it does get you through.
It does get you through.
You know, I would love to help you get through to your son, but I am the world's worst authority on Nick Maroney.
He may be gruff, but he has accepted you.
No, history has shown that anything that I can say, Nick can misunderstand, Jackie.
Well, I refuse to believe that there is no sensitive way for me to let my son know how much his life and his health matter to me.
It's beautiful. Seeing you, how much you care about your son and how much you want to help him. Even though he's a grown man and he's perfectly capable of making his own decisions.
Well, I'm not sure that he is, Owen, on this particular subject, capable of making the right decision.
I think that he's in a good place. And I've got a really good feeling that he's going to hear some stories today that are going to be able to help him better than you and I ever could put his head back on straight.
Nick, this is Jane Chow. Jane, this is
Nick, great to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Do you want some coffee or some tea or water?
No, I'm okay.
Can I tell you that I'm a fan? I've heard you sing, and that I read this wonderful article about you in the newspaper, and naturally, that's one of the reasons why I called, and I wanted you to come, and because I had found out there were no support groups for anybody with lung cancer
Not
in
much
Beverly.
out there.
I know.
Yeah, well, so you're going to start in this great thing.
Well, I hope so. And Nick, I'm hoping, will participate because, he's a naughty cigar smoker. Well, he doesn't have lung cancer, but he had a big
good.
scare. He had a big scare.
Really?
Yeah, they found scarring on his lung, and they weren't sure until they ran secondary tests. But I'm trying to convince him that,
It's an alarm.
yes, it is.
It's sort
a
of
warning.
alarming. Yeah, it's a sign.
It is a sign, because you don't need to go through what we've gone through.
Yeah.
When you kiss me like that, it just makes everything right with the world. Now, if we could just get through to Nicky.
I know that I'm not Nick's favorite person in the world. But if there's anything I can do to help, I will.
That means so much to me, darling.
I just realized.
What?
Just realized what's missing from the conversation that you want to have with Nick. I mean, Jackie, it's not facts. Nick's been given enough facts to choke on. And it's this. It's love. And when you talk to Nick about his increased risk for cancer, you gotta talk to him the same way that you talked to Stephanie when you found out that she was sick. And when somebody's dealing with their own mortality, the last thing that they want to hear is everything that you think that they've done wrong in their lives. They need to hear something about love, loss, fear, and hope. And especially hope.
What was it like when you found out that you had lung cancer?
Well, I think probably to most everybody, it's like their world just turned upside down. And for me, it would have just been, oh, the glass just completely shattered. The whole world just shattered. I mean, and I didn't have any symptoms. So it just complete surprise. I mean, I was ready to go to location to do opera. I was like ready, and I told my doctor, it's false alarm. If it's false alarm, I'm going right now. And really I think it's
Denial?
yeah, and even when you hear the word that stage 4 and you hear the word lung cancer, still I think in the back of my head, it can't be. Why? How? I am an opera singer. I use this lung every day, and also I never smoke.
You didn't?
I think I refused to accept it in the beginning.
Well,
and then at the
yeah,
same time, when you
I
go
did too.
6 months to live,
Yeah.
I have this great future planned out, and there's just so much I want to do, and I'm thinking, 6 months, how am I going to do them? I'm scared. I'm really scared.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long I have.
Nobody does.
Nobody, yeah, it's true. Oh gosh, it's true.
That's right. What did
For
you do
you.
then?
Well, I was so lucky that I had just tremendous, great friends. Everybody was saying to me is that, wow, Zheng, if you can learn opera in all different language and learn how to sing, you're gonna use all of those energy and to fight this cancer. If you can do that, you can do this. You have the same kind of energy. You just focus all on that, and then you're gonna win.
Thank you so much for coming and sharing all this.
My
This is
pleasure.
just wonderful.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you. Please give Nick a hug. He can use all the hugs.
I'll give you a positive hug. Oh, thank you.
Very special person you are.
Papo pietà, pietà, Papo pietà, pietà. Please stop smoking. Bye. Bye.
It was wonderful meeting you too.
I'm thinking you did this for me.
No, I didn't.
Thank you.
Every 2.5 minutes, someone in the United States is diagnosed with lung cancer. For more information on how we can fight this disease, go to lcfamerica.org.